Hey, y'all. As I promised before, I have two very exciting and fun guests coming on in a matter of seconds. They are the pride of North Carolina. Their names are Lynette Hardaway and Rochelle Richardson. What? You don't recognize those names? Well, let me give a few hints. There might be another name or two that you recognize them by a little bit better. They have 304,000 plus followers on Twitter, including President Trump, who only follows 45 people. You need another hint? They just keep getting busier and busier as the bowl of stupid gets fuller and fuller. Still don't know? Well, okay. Well, just why don't you join me in a warm choo-choo, baby, for Diamond and Silk.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Incredible.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, ladies, thanks for coming on. You guys are busy because the news just doesn't stop. The harassment of President Trump just keeps going on and on. The deep state.
I know. It's just like the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going on, and we have to continue to talk about it and debunk it.
That's right.
Where do we begin? This Harvard professor, Lawrence Tribe, talking about how the case has been made for Trump's impeachment. What do we do about stuff like this? The Washington Post.
What we should do is impeach the people that want him impeached. Mm-hmm. Let's look at what they're doing.
That's
because,
right.
See, if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem, and maybe we need to start impeaching you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we should do. Impeach everybody that want to see the president impeached. Why would you want to see the president fail when the president is going to be for the good of the country? I don't get it. I don't get it with the left. I just don't understand them.
Do you really? I mean, I really don't get it, but it seems like it's almost as if it's a team. Well, I mean, look at the Comey thing. You talked about that in one of your videos. Comey, they didn't know on Stephen Colbert whether they were supposed to cheer or boo the fact that he was fired. I mean, what more do you need than that to know about the left?
Listen, Comey ain't never been our homie, and I'm happy that the president fired him.
That's right.
I hadn't heard that yet. Comey has never been our homie. I like to say he's not Comey, he's Goey. Even the way it looks better when you write it out because the way it's spelled and all that. Mm-hmm. You took Hillary Clinton to task related to Comey and the Democrats. What are your thoughts about the Comey firing and also the latest news about her? I think that was your most recent video.
Well, with the Comey firing, I think that the president I think that he was on cue when he did that.
Yes.
The thing is, we don't need an FBI agent that do not have enough intelligence to indict someone that we know committed a crime. We know Hillary risked national security by housing emails on a private server. This is what we know. And he lets her off the hook. Mm-hmm. But then you're chasing down a Russia story that has no merit and has no proof. That's a waste of taxpayers' dollars doing so.
And time.
Yes. And so I think that the president did a phenomenal job by firing him. He could fire whoever he wants to. He is the president. He is the CEO of the United States. He can fire whoever he wants to. Mm-hmm. And as far as Hillary Clinton wants to be part of the resistance, well, we have resistance rising up in the country. You have Antifa. They want to stop the freedom of speech of people. Mm-hmm. Are you talking about that type of resistance? And then now I heard she want to start a super PAC. Well, what are you going to do with this money? Because how much of it are you going to pocket?
That's right.
So we're looking at listen, the media is trying to distract us. The two people we need to be looking at is Obama and Hillary.
I saw in your video about Antifa where you're talking about Hillary Clinton, you were not shy about talking about how Antifa was like another Democratic organization that they like to wear white.
Absolutely.
And it's not for baptism.
That's right. That's right. One group like to wear white. Now we got to wear them black.
That's right.
Let me tell you something. You got to tell the naked, nasty truth, and you have to be honest about what you're talking about so people can see it. For so long, we've been asleep in a stupor.
Yes.
Now we are awoke and we see exactly what's going on. Mm-hmm. And so back then they used the KKK. Now they're using Antifa to manipulate and to intimidate in order to dominate everything. And we can't let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get back to politics in a minute, but in the last 24 hours, there have been some interesting non-politics related stories. You two are obviously African-American women, and it was a strong showing last night by conservative African American women in the Miss USA pageant. And actually, the previous Miss USA was also African American from D.C. But any thoughts on the woman who won and who was pretty outspoken in a non-politically correct way last night? I believe her name was Kara McCullough, winning the Miss USA and doing it.
First of all, congratulations to her.
District of Columbia.
Yeah, congratulations to her. And she has a right to her opinion if she's asked the question.
That's right.
And I can't remember how the question went.
It went like this, Diamond.
Go ahead.
Do you think affordable health care for all U.S. citizens is a right or a privilege?
Okay, and I think she answered the question where she thought it was a privilege.
That's right.
Well, here's the deal.
If
somebody else is paying for it for you, it is a privilege. If you paying for that yourself, it's your right to have it.
That's right.
They just got to get this thing. They get it so twisted. Let me tell you something when it comes to the affordable health care.
That's right.
Here's the deal. We all, I don't care if you're rich or poor, going to have to pay something in this system if we want it to work for all. You cannot let this fall on the middle class, the upper middle class, the lower middle class, fall on their backs to pay for everybody else. We cannot do that.
That's
or,
right.
you know what? It's going to be a debacle. It's going to be a disaster. I think she answered the question how she saw fit. And look, that's her opinion.
That's right.
I'm happy she won, and I'm happy she had that opinion.
And to add to that, everyone has a right to purchase health insurance, but it's not a right to you or for you to have it on someone else's dime.
That's right. Absolutely. I get it.
Yeah, and I guess you don't have a right to someone else's labor. And by the way, she also had a quote about feminism. She's not a feminist. She's an equalist. That outraged a lot of social justice warriors as well.
I love it. You know what? Now we starting to see women, black women, think for themselves. We don't need you feeding us a narrative. We can think for ourselves. I love it. I love it. I love her answers, and I'm glad she was candid, and I'm glad she was honest about them.
Yeah, and she's also the daughter of a Marine, and she went with natural black hair, which probably annoyed Beyonce, et cetera, but that all, was part of it. Another interesting thing, not really politics related, I know you're not the biggest sports fans, but you did tweet yesterday that Gregg Popovich needs to stay in his own lane, doing his own thing. His job is to coach the San Antonio Spurs, not the president of the United States. Now, I don't even know if you watched the game, but they blew a 25-point lead. How true could that be? It's hard to blow a 25-point lead in a playoff game.
But you see how people want to take and deflect what they do, because you see he's a coach, so his team done lost. So now you're trying to put that on the president. First of all, the NBA have to understand, and these coaches have to understand, the people that watch your games. A lot of these people voted for President Trump.
That's
right.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot take and down the president, call him embarrassing, and think somebody gonna sit and look at you and look at your game. The NBA gonna mess around, and we will be boycotting them, and we won't look at them at all.
That's
so
right.
what I'm trying to do is send a message. Don't do that. If you don't have anything good to say about our president, just say no comment.
Shut up.
But don't take and speak out like you trying to coach the president. He should have been coaching his teammate. Probably would have won.
I hope President Trump was watching that, at least the fourth quarter when they really blew it. He would have enjoyed it. I know President Obama probably was watching because he watches a lot of TV. He watches a lot of sports on TV.
Yep, that's what happens when you focus on the wrong thing.
Yes.
Now, you gave President Trump some, I guess you could call it tough love. I mean, there's nothing but love for you guys for President Trump, but about dealing with the media, saying stop worrying about these people. And I just was hoping you could elaborate on the point you made in a recent video of yours.
I don't know what I said. We say so much. The one thing that I want the president to understand is that we, the people, have his back. We, the people, have his back. And what we're going to have to do, we, the people, are going to have to put his message out there and talk about the good that he's doing for the country.
That's right.
Because they don't want a lot of that to get out. That's why they keep distracting us with this Russia story day in and day out. So, I have nothing but love for our president. I have nothing negative to say about him because he don't do anything negative. He's real, he's himself, and he's doing what he said he's going to do. And that's what we love about him.
Now, I get the impression that you're a little less into sports and pop culture than you are into religion and the Bible and stuff like that. And I'm wondering if you're comfortable talking about that just for a few minutes. First of all, as related to President Trump.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm wondering what lessons, it can't be easy being him when there's so much hate toward him all the time. What biblical stories do you think might be a good lesson for him if he wanted to say, I need some inspiration right now, where can I look? Maybe not the story of Joseph being in the jail in Egypt, but what is somewhere he could, in your opinion, get inspiration from?
You know what? I will always tell him like this: weeping may endure for a night, but joy come early in the morning.
That's right.
He don't have to worry about anything. No weapon formed against him is going to prosper.
That's right.
If you look at this election and the election cycle, everything that they threw at him, it didn't stick. And he won it. He won this fair and square. So if God is for you, He's more than the world than against you.
That's
He
right.
is not against you. He is for him. This is designed by God. I believe our president is going to be okay despite the media. Forget the media.
That's right. And one more thing. I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health.
Can I keep on the Bible theme for 1 second for our Jewish listeners in particular? You're probably pretty familiar with Leviticus. We're at the end of it. And God's pretty harsh in there about how if the people of Israel keep his commandments, they will enjoy material prosperity and dwell secure in their homeland. That's where the Jewish people are right now. But if they don't do that, it's going to be a little tough. Exile, persecution, other evils. Any thoughts on that for the Jewish listeners in particular?
We are for, first of all, we stand with Israel.
Great.
We stand with Israel. We stand with Israel. Israel is our ally. And that's the chosen place.
That's right.
So the only thing I can say to Israel, to the Jews, we stand with them.
This is a big week. He's going there, in fact. He's going to Israel this week.
No, absolutely, and I'm so happy to see that. I'm so happy that he's making those trips. We'll be praying for him, but I'm so happy that he's making those trips abroad, because it's time to unite us. Unite people. All of this stuff, this bickering back and forth, we got to stop this here. People really want to live in peace.
That's
the
right.
average person wants to live in peace and not all of this bickering and this back and forth.
That's
so
right.
I'm so happy that he's going to places like Israel.
Exactly. And when you see fight begets more fight. It is time for us to come and be in peace.
That's right. I love it.
Definitely. One more non-political thing before I do get back to politics. I don't know if you have children yourselves, but you certainly focused on Mother's Day yesterday, and we're a day late today, but just any thoughts on Mother's Day to the mothers out there?
Oh, my God, we love them. Mothers, they have the hardest task in the world by making sure the homes are correct and making sure they're raising the children and all of that kind of good stuff.
Yes.
So don't forget about mothers, and it was a happy Mother's Day. We spent Mother's Day with our mother on yesterday, and we had a phenomenal time with her. We love the mothers, and know that we love you all, and you matter. What you do matter.
That's
and,
right.
and listen, this world can't exist without the mothers.
That's
because
right.
we birthed them into the world.
That's
I know what the world is trying to do now. I see it, but it's still going to take a mama.
It's going to take
a mother to birth that child into the world, because the men can't do it.
That's right.
All right. We've gone from the beauty of motherhood to something kind of ugly and sordid. Let's talk about Podesta and his investments in Russia. I told you we would go back to these kinds of topics. We had our nice topics. Now let's talk about the very disgusting stuff going on in the Democrat Party. Any thoughts on Podesta? You retweeted that one.
Listen, here's the deal. I think that this is what I don't understand. How is it that you all can say, oh, the president is tied to this person, but Podesta was tied to Russia. Hillary Clinton was tied to Russia. She sold uranium to him. Are the people in the Democratic Party tied to Russia? This little ambassador that's walking around, that they're saying, oh, he's a spy, this same ambassador was with the Democrats. Been to the White House up under the Obama administration.
That's right.
And nobody says anything about that. So I think that it's the pot calling the kettle black. I think it's one-sided, and I think it needs to end.
Now let's talk about someone who may be every bit as loathsome as Podesta, but even cries a lot more in public, and that is your friend Chuck Schumer. What do we make of a society where a man can have a big leadership role and cry like that and still call himself a man? What do we do about a society where Chuck Schumer can be prominent?
You know what? I haven't a clue on what we're going to do with him. But what I don't understand is the outrage that he feels for the president. Why did he feel that same outrage for up under the Obama administration when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State and all of the money that was wasted, that was guarded, that went missing when she was into the Benghazi situation? Where was the outcry for that? Why wasn't he on there crying about that? I don't get this. them. I don't understand the Democrats and where they're trying to go.
That's right.
But it's not going to work.
And the only ties that Donald Trump probably have in Russia is neckties.
Yeah, there may be some selling over there.
That's
I get
right.
it. Yes.
Do you think that they're just acting every time they're out there? You know, when they put on these crocodile tears. James Clapper, like, I even look at his facial expressions, and it's like he's been coached acting-wise how to seem like a really sincere, national security concerned guy. And what?
Yeah, but see, Clapper was the same one that said that they didn't find any. The NSA and all of these other people did not find any ties to with any collusion with the Trump campaign in Russia. But then he comes out and he speaks another talk. I don't get it. I don't understand it. This is all people playing politics, but they don't realize that you are playing with the American people's lives. The American peoples are ready to prosper and they're ready to come up. And by them pushing this story, Clapper, call me, all of them. Listen, you're playing with and the Democrats, you're playing with the American people's lives. The American people getting tired of it.
That's right.
And that's why President Trump going to witness it another 4 years.
Now, I'm on social media a lot, and I see a lot of people who are like, oh, it's so depressing. All they do is say negative things about Trump. They may not be as spiritually strong as you are. What advice can you do you have for people who just can't take it anymore because the media just keeps lying and the Democrats keep lying and even the Republicans pick on Trump? Just the ordinary person at home who's getting down about all of this.
Okay, this is what they need to do. Cut off the TV and turn to Diamond and Silk.
Right.
Cut off the TV, turn to Diamond and Silk. As a matter of fact, we want everybody to listen to our Facebook Live tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will be discussing Call Me. And even Betty DeVos, when she went and spoke at this HBCU school down there in Florida, and how those kids, those children, turned their backs on her and booed her. We got to talk about that.
That's right.
We got to clean up that because that's
you know what? That's right down the street from here. I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot about that. You know, I have to say one thing about that. I did a video. I did a Facebook Live a couple days ago about that. But did you notice the president there, the president of the university, Edison Jackson, how he behaved? And by the way, the majority of students did not stand up and turn their backs. I looked closely at the video. A lot of them just were quietly and, you know, had class about it. But the president said something of this historically black college, Bethune-Cookman. He said something I never hear from Ivy League presidents. He said, you know, part of education is hearing a lot of different points of view. And I wanted to make sure people saw this, that the students know what's going on in the real world. I thought he came out looking like a total mensch, as Jewish people say. I mean, did you notice that? Did you happen to catch that?
Okay, I did not catch that part.
Make sure you do.
Okay, I will. The part that I saw was those students
standing
up, the disrespect, because you can't bring that out here in the real world. You're not going to have a job. You're going to be homeless and hungry doing that out here. And somebody's got to show and teach and tell our millenniums. And when I hear people like Whoopi Goldberg, well, they have the right to do that. And the Al Sharptons and the Jesse Jacksons making people, these millennium thinks it's okay to be disrespectful. I cringe at that. Because what you're saying, you're going to create a society of people that just don't have no respect for nothing and feel like they have an entitlement to something. And that's what you're doing when you don't tell people and show people, whoa. You may not like her.
That's right.
But you don't have the right to boo her or turn your back to her. You pay attention and you listen because you may learn something from her.
That's right. Will you do that to your pastor in your church?
Would you do that to a judge? They were wrong for that. They were wrong. And if I was over that school, they would have got told off. Y'all would have saw that part of it. I would have told those students off. And everybody that stood up, walk them on out the door. We will send you your piece of parchment paper, your diploma. We will send it to your address. For doing that.
Well, he threatened to do that.
Don't invite her to the school. You invited her.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Oh, that I cringe when I saw that. Made me cringe. And that's exactly why I say, and I can say this here, I see a lot of African American black people always staying stuck because we always in that right there, that kind of foolishness. We don't open up our minds and open up our ears to hear a different point of view because we always stuck in our point of view, which consists of race baiting, sitting around, calling people cool oozing out of their name.
Like a bucket of crap.
That's all, and we're all pulling each other down. And that's got to stop.
I'm just saying, make sure you see what President Jackson wrote and what he said, because he said exactly your words to the students there, and it was a very impressive performance.
Okay, well, if he said it like that, then good.
He did. He really did. And note all the way, when people are making noise and turning their backs, you notice them. You don't notice students sitting quietly and respectfully,
right.
And that was the majority of them. And it's a shame that, when they were graduating, a lot of them worked hard. A lot of them are from not wealthy backgrounds. They're probably the first people to graduate from college. They had their thing hijacked by the people who were, let's face it, instigators there. And there were people kind of yelling at them to stand up, and most were just standing up, but you had the instigator types in the crowd. One other thought from hearing Central Florida, I don't know if you followed the Corinne Brown story, but she was the congressman in the adjacent district from here in the east coast of Florida. Any thoughts on her conviction on that?
Well, you know what? Listen, when you're dealing with charities, you got to do right by the money. And what you do in the dark will come to the light. And you may not pay what you owe, but you're going to reap what you sow.
That's
so,
right.
Look, you cannot play with money when it comes to people donating to a charity. That needs to go to that charity, not you funneling the money through your bank accounts. But here's the interesting thing. The Clintons had a foundation.
Yep.
They did a lot of pay-for-play, and we'll say allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't nobody being arrested in that? I just look at things. People need to, you know what, and these people are Democrats. Democrats need to look at this here from a broader perspective. Mm-hmm. You got a woman that has done all kinds of things. She go unscathed. And poor Karina, she done probably did the same thing. Now they get ready to lock you up for, a year? You get ready to get locked up for that. I think it's sad. I think it's unfortunate. But, you have to do right when it comes to these charities. You can't just take and funnel that money through your bank account if that's what she was doing, and we'll say allegedly.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. I've seen it's a number of Congressional Black Caucus members. I'm from the Philadelphia area. Chaka Fattah, has gone down the same way. But I just wonder what them and Jesse Jackson Jr., who obviously served time, think when they see what the Clintons get away with. And so much of it isn't even illegal. It's like this sophisticated money laundering. Mm-hmm. Like Chelsea Clinton getting $800,000 for a job she was clearly incompetent for, and the money for the speeches. And, that's just old style political graft. And not that I'm excusing it at all, but you got to wonder about the double standard when what the people.
It's a double standard, but these people still vote for the same system that allows it. You vote for the same type system that allows it. Mm-hmm. When I see some more people that should be jailed for their misdeeds and what they've done. So I think it's unfortunate, and it wakes everybody up, because a lot of these organizations, even down to Al Sharpton's organization, Jesse Jackson, the Rainbow Coalition. You have the NAACP. Right. You have the Congressional Black Caucuses. Where is these funds going? Are these funds really helping communities, or are these people funneling this money through their bank accounts?
That's right, because the NAACP is supposed to be for the advancement of colored people, and colored people hadn't advanced.
They haven't advanced. Mm-mm. So where's the money going? So it may need to wake up some of these people and say, hey, you got to do right by the money. If you're getting donations, then that money needs to go towards charity or doing whatever that foundation or whatever that organization is supposed to do, and not funnel that money through your account to take care of you.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of people rallying around Congresswoman Brown, because it's one thing to steal money from George Soros, but you steal money from poor black kids that's supposed to go to their schooling. The community, as we say, is not necessarily so sympathetic to you in that case.
Right, and that's why I'm always, people say, we always get this, oh, you're so hard on us black people. Wait a minute. I'm not hard on black people, but it's time for us to wake up and smell the coffee here, okay? Mm-hmm. All right? This is, I can't feed it to you like sugar. Sugar makes you sick. I got to tell you the naked, nasty truth about what goes on in our community. And if we stop it, then we can help our community. These coalitions and these organizations can really help, but you can't help if you get money in and you funnel it through your bank account or in other ways, and that's why a lot of them are going to jail.
Well, you've given me a lot of your time, and we mentioned the graduation at Bethune-Cookman, which got a lot of publicity, and the reality is so many leftists get invited year after year to speak at schools, and you probably have not been invited to too many fancy schools this year to be the graduation speakers. I don't care. People are graduating, and frankly, they'd rather hear from you than Madeleine Albright in a lot of cases. They're the same recycled liberals. I'm wondering if you can, and I'm putting you on the spot here, just give an address to people graduating college right now who are going to have to sit through some liberal at their own graduation. Maybe they can get a podcast of this piece and tune into this instead of listening to the garbage that's going to be spewed at them. What is Diamond and Silk's advice for college graduates?
Once you get that piece of paper in hand, get out here and make your own way. Don't expect anyone to give you anything, because ain't nobody going to give you nothing. You have to work hard and achieve it. And I believe hard work pay off.
That's right.
Hard work pay off. If you work hard, it will come to you. And do what you love.
And love what you do.
Do it. You got to do what you love. Don't just do something just to be doing it, but make sure you love what you're doing. And make sure when you're doing it, you are respectable. Because when you are respectable, it comes back to you tenfold.
That's right. And there's nothing wrong with walking through the fear of the unknown.
That's right, baby, to get what you want.
That's right.
Final thing, obviously people know to go to @Diamond@Silk on Twitter, and they know to tune into you on Facebook Live tonight. They may not be aware of the Diamond and Silk store, and one of the top sellers there is the All Aboard the Trump Train hoodie. But the fact of the matter is the weather, unless you're in Alaska this time of year, isn't really hoodie weather. What are some of the great things that people might want to buy there in addition to the hoodie, which is at the top?
Let me see. Get you a Trump pen. I'm always in support of our president. So get them the bling Trump pens, and I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. We got the new Women United for Trump pens, so they should be out probably this week. That people can start purchasing. We have to stand in support of our president. We all of us Americans, helped him get elected. So we got to help push his message, and he has to know that the American people is behind him 100%.
And that Women United for Trump pen will be available at diamondandsilk.com.
All right. It's been a real pleasure, and I thank you for your time. I'd love to have you on again. And choo-choo, baby.
Choo-choo. Thank you for having us.
Bye-bye.